Well, isn't that a lovely picture? Let's look at it again. How nice, isn't it? Let's focus. Gold, 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 and gold. And a little airplane here. How nice. Oh God. Now, where to start? How cringe can you be? Look, let's just talk a bit about this little meeting. And I wanted to start with this little picture because it speaks a million. Why is the White House converted into some kind of Vegas version of a French Louis XIV uh, palace? I really would like to know. I really would like to understand this because you have no doubt, you have no idea how much this really boggles me, and confuses my mind. I'm just looking at this, and I cannot fathom why someone would think that this is adequate, that this is proper to receive other people, and then this was seen here. Give me just a minute during the meeting, and this is from Reuters. So it's a source that all of you Americans know. And this is the reason why I'm putting Reuters here, because I don't want you to think that this is just, I just watch European news and some shit like that. No, my friends. I speak more than English. I speak a lot of languages. I read a lot of languages. So whenever I'm researching something, I like to watch more than one word. But when people start talking shit and misinformation, and I instantly recognize when you are giving me misinformation, I simply tell you to off. Okay? But now you've seen the picture, okay? You've seen the little gold room, gold, golden. Now, writers. Trump interrupts talks with European leaders to call Putin, says you diplomat. By writers. US President Donald Trump has interrupted his talks in Washington with European leaders to call Russian President Vladimir Putin a new, and I know how his name is enunciated, but I call him the Putin. An EU diplomat told Reuters on Monday. The talks are due to resume after the call, which Trump had initially said would take place after he consulted with European leaders. Germany's Bild newspaper first reported the call. And then, we all saw the news, we know which leaders were there. So let's go back to me. So this guy is consulting with bloody Vladimir Putin. It's not enough the display of weakness and the display of offensive behavior that he had by inviting that man to Alaska, to US soil, that the US bought from Russia. Perhaps he's considering to sell it back or something like that. No, if a guy says that he wants to annex Canada and Greenland, he might as well sell Alaska. After all of this, he then interrupts his meeting and he goes and talks with Putin. I would be, I would need hours to tell you the reactions that I saw by political analysts and reporters here and politicians. I would need hours because this is like Zelensky went, and all the European, most, a lot, not all of them, of course, but the ones that went, okay, they knew the positions of the others because we act as a group. So it's not the fact that, for example, you have the Germany, Britain, France, Italy, Finland, and then the representative of the European Union with Zelensky, and Italy too. Yes, Meloni, I think she was there. They represent groups. Okay, before they went there, they talked with the other European leaders to see their position because this is how we work. And even the UK that is not in the European Union. Okay, I'm certain that Ursula von der Leyen or Macron talked with them and explained their position and why they were doing this. They all went there with Zelensky. Number one, to help Zelensky deal with Trump, with the child man. And secondly, to show to Trump, we are here with him. You are not going to make a scene. You are not going to scream like a child. You are not going to offend people. Okay? And then this guy is talking with European leaders that are already very skeptical about what he was discussing with Putin. And then he interrupts the meeting to go and talk with bloody Vladimir Putin. And some of you will say, I heard the MAGA say, oh, he was just telling Putin what the position of all the other European leaders was and this and that. Then what is the purpose of the meeting? Tell me, what is the purpose of the meeting? Because it would be normal if instead of interrupting a meeting, he would talk with each of the leaders that were there and with Zelensky and say, look, I'm going to phone Vladimir Putin now. He probably calls him Vladi or Vladimir or something like that. And I'm going to tell you what you told me here, this and this. What do you think we can share, and what do you think we should not share? This would be absolutely normal, and this would be diplomacy. But he just stopped it, just like uh, ringing, ringing Sweden out of the blue to ask for a Nobel Prize. Okay, instead of doing this, he just gets up, goes and call. Do you think this is normal? I tell you this: if you were a leader of one of those countries, of one of those blocks, would you share information with a person like this? Look, I want to believe that something good will come out of this entire process and that Ukraine will be able to exist as a country in peace again. But you will forgive me for not having a lot of faith in it. What I do have faith, is do you want to know what I have faith? I have faith in all of the European countries continuing to provide Ukraine with volunteers that are also going to go even more now, with supplies, with ammunitions, with pressure over Russia, with a lot of things. That is in which I have faith. And even though I cannot go to the front lines, I would volunteer even if I was to be cannon fodder, to protect the life of someone younger than me or stronger than me that would be able to then go in my stride and kill a couple of idiots. Okay? But when I say this, you cannot mistake me for saying that I don't consider Russians to be fellow Europeans. I consider them to be fellow Europeans. I have a lot of reasons to hate them in my family, personally, in my in my in my family lines. I have a lot of reasons to hate them, but I don't hate them. I don't hate the Russian people. I hate their rulers, yes, I do, but I don't hate the Russians. And this, if this can end this bloody, senseless war of a madman that decided to invade the country just because that country did not want to be in his sphere of influence. And then you have the Americans saying, oh, he was right, NATO was expanding, and this and that. NATO, NATO was coming close to integrate Russia in the common defense mechanism of Europe. Right now, right now, you would not have the reported more than 1 million Russian men dead in Ukraine, and how, how many Ukrainian soldiers and civilians dead or abducted, children abducted, and now put in websites to be adopted by good Russian families. Yes, good Russian families. Okay, you would not have people in that 1984 horror movie in Russia. You would not have anything of that. Russia could have had their importance and their influence in Europe completely assured, being a reliable partner and a democratic state. Russia would not be right now mm, ready for the catch for the Chinese and for everyone that wants to take a piece of it its territory. Russia would be in the European Union, for example. I'm not saying as a part, but as a partner. Russia could have had that all. And because of the fixation and the power hunger of a couple of people, it's not just Putin. Because of all of that, okay, we have this. And we have an American president that instead of defending and supporting the allies of the United States, that before all of this circus, they would not even blink if the United States needed help from other countries. They would not even blink to help them. He did this. He has destroyed all of the power of the soft power of the United States. And I keep seeing, I think, I think, and I hope that I'm right, I think he's trying to repair some of this. I think, but I'm not sure. Because like you Americans say, taco. I don't know which way the fuck you will go. I sincerely hope that this is the case, that I'm right, and that my instinct is right, that he is trying to repair some of this. But if he continues to trust in the narrative of Russia, then he's fucked completely. But that display of weakness that he had, you want to know how the Russians and the rest of the world saw this? They saw a strong leader, that he is, a smart man, that he is, brutal, ruthless, a wanted criminal by the international tribunal, but intelligent, strong man, and they saw a weak, pathetic old man. This is what the world saw. This is what the world saw, just like that golden room. People look at that golden room and they think, That is really cringe. It has absolutely no dignity. But this is just an example, okay? But what can I tell you more about this meeting? Right now, nothing. But the news are going to come out. All I know is that Russia continues to bombard Ukraine. They continue to kill civilians. They continue to destroy things. They continue. They have a lot of mercenaries from Africa, from North Korea, from China, from everywhere. Okay, even Europeans are there. Okay, because we have traders here too. And like I said in one of my previous videos, anyone that supports Russia in this war, any European that supports Russia in this war is a traitor. You are a traitor. You are a traitor to all Europeans. You are a traitor to your nation. You are a traitor to your family. You are a traitor to your bloodlines. And if you are a Russian and you support this, you are a traitor to your fatherland too. Traitors. Fucking traitors. I'm sorry. I wanted to keep this video coordinated, but I just went off. And I'm going to post it anyway. Because this is how I feel, and I want it to be absolutely clear. I saw this encounter of Trump with Putin as a sign of weakness, and I think the way that he dealt with the other European leaders and with Zelensky, he was polite at least, but he was not presidential. And some people, I have my complaints about Obama. I think he was also weak when he allowed Russia to do what they did. Okay, Obama gave out the wrong signs, and Biden was too old and too sick. The minute that he started to falter, the Democratic Party should have found a proper candidate. This is my opinion. I'm not an American. All of that is all fine and good, but it was during Trump's administration that he was able to rise even more, because this is a long process. And right now, he will enlist the entire Russian population to get what he wants because he does not care. You cannot negotiate properly with people like that. You have to negotiate from a position of strength. You have to show strength. You would never, you should have never met that man in Anchorage, Alaska. You would set up where you are going to meet in a neutral ground, whatever. Find a neutral ground. A neutral ground, you would find that place, you would have that meeting, you would have Zelensky, you would have the European leaders there, everyone on the table. And now let's talk. Oh, Russia doesn't want NATO troops near their borders. Okay, let's set up a demilitarized zone. There, demilitarized zone done. Russia wants to ensure that the people that speak Russian in Ukraine are able to continue to speak Russian and have their Russian culture. Okay, Zelensky. Okay, can you guarantee this? Okay, it's on your back. You guarantee this. And then Russia vows to not send their spies to try and corrupt, like they were trying to do, like they did in other places, to try to, and they are still doing it, still doing that fucking, they are still fucking doing it, to send their spies into Europe and stay in that corner. In exchange, Europe will buy their gas, will buy their oil, and will allow them to travel, for example, and to trade. This is how you negotiate things. but from a position of strength. Russia will have to contribute because the war was Russia's fault. Russia is going to have to pay restitutions. Russia is going to have to rebuild roads, hospitals, cities. There are entire cities pulverized. Russia is going to return all the people that were abducted, all the children. Russian soldiers that committed crimes are going to be prosecuted. I would even think that a little clause to not allow the Putin to be deported and judged in The Hague. I would even, me personally, I would even forfeit for that if he was forced to be in Russia for the rest of his life. He could be there wherever he wanted. If this meant that there was peace and territorial integrity to Ukraine. But give land to that man. Look, I will tell you this, and I will tell you now. If you give 1 inch of land to that man, in 10 years, in 5 years, he is going to try to do it elsewhere. He's going to try to invade Poland. He's going to try to invade wherever he wants because he knows he can poke the bear and the bear won't bite him back. And I am one of those that for many years I have said the same thing. Europe needs armies. Europe needs strength. Europe needs to be independent. Europe needs a single unified army. Not unified, okay, like some people say, oh, and this will be complicated and we don't. No, no. I think it was the Finns that talked about this. Have regional units like NATO. Follow the model of NATO. Have regional units of army to defend our borders. This is what we need. Okay? This is what we need. We need strength. You cannot appease people like Putin. Do you remember what happened in World War II? Okay? Oh, he just wants Austria. Austria, they speak German too. It's a part of his country. Okay, you can have Austria. Oh, he just wants the region of the Sudet and it's theirs. And, okay, yeah, you can have Sudet. Oh, he wants to have an army to defend his country. Okay, let them do it. Then what happened? Do you want that again? The hometown of my family in East Prussia, of my great grandmother's house, in the village where her family comes from, is reduced to nothing. It doesn't exist. The Soviets, hmm, the Soviets pillaged it, burned it, razed it, and then sold a forest over it. The church where she was baptized in Königsberg, not Kaliningrad, is now Russia. You want this again? You want millions of people dead? You want Holocaust? You want all of this? If you want this, then appease that bastard. You cannot appease bullies. You have to show strength. Does it hurt? Yes, it fucking hurts. I have fought bullies a lot of times in my life. Yes, it hurts. Yes, it does. But it is needed. And if you are an adult, if you are not a child, then you have to accept that life comes with pain and pleasure. But it has pain. You have to accept this. In this position of and look, I'm not being all macho and all of that. I don't even align with that type of ideas. I'm not macho. I'm not any of that shit. But you need to have a position of strength. And all of these idiots online that are supporting Russia, you know what you are? You are weak. traitors, and weaklings. Oh, we're so strong. Oh, big army. Oh, that's weak. Well, it's enough. This talking about this makes me too emotional for my taste. I don't like to let my emotions take over me. So let's end the video right now. Okay. Thank you for listening to this video, and I hope to see you all in the next one.